thought I'd talk a little bit, just for a moment, about kind of a bridging the gap. And it's not necessarily something I'm pressing any judgment on, good or bad. It's necessary, or it's part of our system that we're in. So I'm driving through Northwest Texas today. It's beautiful, flat, straight plains. Self-drive's doing good. I thought I'd talk a little bit, just for a moment, about kind of a bridging the gap discussion between employees and employers and the way they view the world. And it's not necessarily something I'm pressing any judgment on, good or bad. It's necessary, or it's part of our system that we're in. So let's just say that an employee does a great job, well appreciated by a really good employer, and that employer wants to give them a raise. So pick a number. The employer gives them a $1,000 raise, right? You can call it $10,000 if you want, whatever. $1,000 raise. That employer, when they give you that raise, due to all the different taxes and whatnot that are have to get paid, that $1,000 raise costs $1,300. So, kind of from an employer's perspective, they're like, "Hey, I'm giving a $1,300 raise. That's the cost of it anyway. I really appreciate this individual and what they do for us." The employee sees that raise, and then they actually get, they look at it, and they, after taxes, maybe it's worth $7,000, maybe. I'm sorry, $700. Excuse me. We're doing the $1,000 thing. So maybe it's worth $700, maybe a little less, and then from that $700, that's all taxable for whatever, taxes on food and everything else. So, what do you get for real goods out of that? Maybe it's $500. There's probably some math in there. So there's this gap where the raise has been given, costs $1,300, and after we're done taxing the heck out of it, it's actually only worth $500 in real impact. Like say you want to save it or something like that. So anyway, I guess my only point is to just understand that there's a built-in gap that sometimes creates misunderstandings between employees and employers, and employees and employers. And I think the only way to address that is just through information. So nothing to do with it other than understand it, and maybe an employee could appreciate, that cost my employer more than the actual raise, and the employer could appreciate, hey, when this happens, is they're not actually going to get the full value in some ways of that, depending on how you view the world. So anyway, bridging the gap. I'm Bill Williams, and I'm Failing Daily. Check out failingdaily.com if you want to see our content or connect with me.